Well, today we're going to look at a very important subject, a subject that I've always wanted to share, probably because of not having an opportunity to share. Today I've had this wonderful opportunity that God has given to us so that I can share to you, that you may know the depth of what I'm about to speak about or what God is about to reveal to you. I've been asked about the spiritual world. Is there heaven? When was the concept of heaven discovered in the civilization of mankind? When exactly did man discover that heaven exists? And what is the content of heaven? This is a very important subject, okay? And it's a question that each one of us is asking. We're a population of about 8 billion people. We are really growing at a very terrific speed, but masked up with a lot of challenges, internationally, locally, nationally, individually. Human beings are going through a lot of extreme time, but I am just one glad man because I believe we are not a project of its own, but we are a project of a person who is full of wisdom and is full of care and full of mercy. And I've always told people the world was created for an entity of goodness, for that which is good, not what that is evil. Therefore, I am very positive that we are going to overcome all these obstacles, and we will, at the end of the day, be the winners, as we have always been, surviving a lot of catastrophes in the past. Our ancestors went through a lot of challenges, a lot of natural and unnatural disasters, and they managed to muzzle the situation at the time of their days. And this is our time. This is our time that we should be proud we are existing in this moment, irrespective of the challenges that we are facing, both individually and internationally. We're able to overcome. As long as there is a will and there is faith, there is no reason why we should not overcome. We're here to overcome. We are here to make a difference. We're here to believe that all things are possible. And we are here also to hold the hands of our brothers, our sisters, and to give them that momentum, courage, and hope that they should not despair. That's why I speak to you through this video, to encourage you, you who is going through a lot of confusion, a lot of problem, personal problem, family problem, marital problem, relationship problems, whatsoever challenges that you're facing through. You have always to understand that there's somebody out there, a human being like you, who went through the same challenge and overcome the challenge. Don't allow the negative energy to overtake you, to overwhelm you, and to put you down. You still have hope. So today I want to talk about the spiritual world. The spirit world really exists. And the unique thing about the spirit world is that it orchestrates everything that happens in the physical world. Because it is the spiritual realm that actually created the physical world. What we see today was actually created by the spiritual deity. In the book of John, chapter number 4, verse 24, Jesus makes it very clear that God is a spirit, and them that worship God must worship him in truth and in the spirit. And so revelation of who God is and who the deity is keeps on melting and is being unveiled, being revealed upon us and upon our lives daily. And today, at this moment, I want to share so that I can give you some ideas, some knowledge, some wisdom on what exactly is happening in the spirit world. The spirit world is the place where the spirits or the spiritual creatures, or what you may call existence, really holds. We are human beings and we live in the physical world, and we are in a process of transformation. We may not know what form we were before we enter into this atmosphere called Earth, and we probably may not have the true picture or revelation or the clear cut of what happens life after death. But the little knowledge and wisdom, because they work all together, the little wisdom and knowledge that we gather clearly tells us that there is life after death, and that we who are human beings made of soul, body, and spirit, our energy that exists in our soul and in our spirit will forevermore exist and continue existing even when our body has returned back to earth and nature has taken over our physical body. The physical body in its own exists in a very short period of time. It has its own difficulties, shortcomings, as we know it. The spiritual world, in another way, is an experience of eternity. The spirit world has no dimension of height, size, time. It has no clock, it has no days, it has no numerals. Because where there are days, there is time, there are numerals. These are places of limitations. And that's the planet Earth and the physical world where we live in. So to understand the supernatural spirit world, you must also have to locate a deity. Through the deity, you're able to learn in a supernatural manner what exists that you as a physical human being are not able to understand. Connection to the deity is number one step to know if the spirit world really exists. And always the atheists or people who believe in the five senses, as we all know, may not believe in some of the religious aspects out there, but it will be foolish to just brush off that religion is just a myth when we understand and we know it, that billions and billions and billions of human beings have connection to a subject of faith, subject of religion, and it is part and parcel of their life. It will be just so horrible to brush off that religion is just a myth, which does not need to be concerned about. And we should be concerned about other things like politics, social life, like sports and music. Yes, just like I say, according to the knowledge you have, so will be your decision, so will be your character, so will be your formality of reasoning. The spirit world is not visible to the natural eye, but very visible to the spiritual eye. You cannot acquire a spiritual eye unless you are born of a spirit. The birth is creativity of an experience. Through that birth, whatsoever has been birthed, learn during the period of time to understand exactly what is to happen and why it happens, and through its nature, it can acquire knowledge, skills, and wisdom, and there will be transformation. That which is spirit is able to dissect and transfuse or to transform information from one part of the world, which is spirit world, to the carnal world. So spirit world is the place where all souls that have transformation from death to other life heads to. Spirit world also is the place where the known and the unknown deity we like mentioning about exist, and they have their own merit on how they exist in that particular world. It is absurd and probably sad that no much information of the spirit world is revealed to the physical man. That while we have this body, very rare or very few of us understand what happens in life after death. Because the question is debatable, and many people are still asking, is truly life after death existing? Just look at yourself. Take a break and just look at yourself. Look at the knowledge that you have in your life. Look at the strength of those knowledge. Look at how you understand things, how you believe things, and how you operate in doing things. It's unique. Truly, it should not be believed that this just happened and it's a coincidence. It's just a miracle. Just like we create and we make vehicles and we drive them in the street, the mechanism of our creation tells us that the vehicle would have never existed unless we invented it, we built it, and we made it possible to act and to function for our benefits. It's the same thing that we see with creation. There has to be a deity. There has to be somebody who formulates what we see, somebody behind the architect of what we know, what we see, and somebody behind the aspect of life in its own entity. The world is so beautiful. When you look at the mountains, you look at the sea, you look at the nature, you look at the galaxy, you can see that there is an element of collective responsibility which creates intelligence and uniformity in everything that has been existing out there. Surely it cannot be said this is just a big bang and it is just something that happened coincidentally. Millions and billions of stars that are existing up in the galaxy, and how they're not able to collide, and how the world through millions and millions of time have passed comets, have passed asteroids, and has passed, I believe, a couple of billions and billions of galaxy out there, but we've never, and the world or the earth or the crescent has not succumbed into any of the collision. This is not happening by accident. The more I talk about this, the more I feel the presence of the deity trying to reveal itself to me, that even you that is looking and watching this video, he is observing you, and the magnetic connection that we have between us is the true experience that this day was created by him for you to have this privilege to know something about the spiritual world. So to summarize my word, spirit world really exists, God really exists, angels exist, demons exist, the devil exists, and in my other topics I will be going deeper into unveiling the aspect of the spirit world and how it enforces its activities and its operation amongst our lives invisibly. And to tell you this information, I want to also advise you to understand that nothing that you're doing or thinking or feeling is just by coincidence. There is a deity behind it. There is a supernatural transformation. There is a power, a knowledgeable power that is behind it. And you're not just a project of an accident. And you're not just a project of come, go, be born and die. You are mandated to fulfill a certain priority. And the best way you can understand that is to go deeper and to seek for the truth, and you will feel your understanding opening and your mind opening and your wisdom opening, that will enable you to know that which is true against that which is a lie. God bless you so much.